Hello guys, how you doing? It's me, Si Gennaro, from BBC's The Voice, and I'd just firstly like to say thank you to all the subscribers that took my subscriber level up to over 1,000 subscribers. And I know that I haven't done anything for ages, and I do feel bad about that. So now I'm back, and yes, I have got a guitar in my hand, but the purpose of this video blog, apart from to welcome all my new subscribers, is to actually talk about the fact that this week I'm doing a 5-day fast. So I've entitled the blog 5-Day Fast, Should I Do It? Now basically this is day 2, so I'm doing a report. I'm going to do a report every day, and I'm doing a report of day 1 today because this is this morning. This is the morning of day 2. Does that make any sense so far? I hope it does. So basically, Sunday evening I had my last meal, and then I went through the whole of Monday without eating any food at all, just drinking water. Firstly, the reasons behind this were not for dietary reasons, because I'm pretty skinny, right? Not for dietary reasons, but for what I like to call holistic purification of both the body and the mind. I did a lot of research on this before I went down the road, but it's really good for your digestive tract and, you know, longevity, body cells, anti-aging, stuff like that, according to the various legends. But you need to do your research. I'd advise you, if you don't feel healthy, or if you're slightly worried, seek medical attention before you attempt anything like this, even if it's just a 5-day fast. But I did read a lot of things. You can just go on Google and put 5-day fast and just read. Don't read the ads. Just read all the proper stuff that people have written and get your own opinion about whether it's worth doing or not. Personally, I know a guy that did a 21-day fast, and he looked pretty good afterwards. He had lost quite a bit of weight, but he looked good and he was happy, and he's an artist and he was doing his thing, but I wouldn't do it for that long personally. I think that's a bit of a brave undertaking. So what I'm doing is, I'm doing a 5-day fast. I'm doing it for reasons of purification of the mind, to give my diet. I just felt a bit that my whole body just felt groggy and just sort of crap, you know, like, I don't want to go into too much detail, but I just felt like my body needed a good flushing out, you know, so I actually was inspired to do this by another friend of mine who's a flamenco guitarist. He said, what is it with guitarists? His name's Flamenco Stew. That's not his name at all, that's just what I call him. And he again had his own reasons for doing it, health reasons. Basically because after a few days the body goes into a state of what they call autophagy, which is it starts phaging on itself and eating the bad cells and all the fat reserves obviously, and blah 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 is what happens apparently. So I thought it might be good just to sort of, and I've always wanted to try it, just go for it for a few days, do the report just so you guys can see what you think. Obviously I'm doing this without a script. So a little bit about me. I'm a musician, and you know that already, probably, some of you do, and therefore my diet isn't the healthiest. I probably drink a bit too much, but I'm not an alcoholic. I mean, I go through plenty of days of the week where I don't drink, but then I quite often binge drink at the weekends, or, you know, whenever. I do smoke, but not too much. I have a pretty varied diet. I don't eat junk food too much, but I do from time. Like I might have a chips and a Saveloy once a month or something. I'm not vegetarian. Apologies to any vegans out there. It is a thing that I'm thinking of, you know, maybe this will be the start of that, I don't know, because if you can go without all food, then maybe you can start being a bit more picky about what you do eat, if that makes any sense. I want to keep this blog to under 10 minutes because I don't want people to get bored. I really hate that, and yes, I'm noodling around with my guitar, but that's just, it's a prop really. See, the only reason I really brought the guitar into the frame was because I couldn't remember when you did a front camera video whether it flipped everything on YouTube or whether it puts it the right way. You will be hearing lots more from me in song-wise. This video is also just to get me kick-started back into doing more songs on the internet again, because I have been a little bit lapsed with that, and I've got so much new material for you guys to hear. Comments and questions are welcomed, by the way, and please, like I said, I'm not an expert about any of these things, so seek medical advice. Like, I think I'm a skinny guy and I'm willing to do this for 5 days, so I think if you've got a bit of extra weight on, you know, and you drop a few pounds, it's probably not going to do you any harm. You know, if you're really skinny or you're ill or you've got any of those things going on, maybe seek your doctor's advice. I'm not going to lie, I didn't seek my doctor's advice, chiefly because I don't seek my doctor's advice about anything. You know, the last time I saw my doctor, he said, you know, he said, maybe you want to stop smoking. And I said, well, maybe you do too, because he was outside the surgery having a fag and he didn't notice that I'd seen him. So I didn't seek my doctor's advice. But if I start feeling like I'm going to die, I'm going to start eating some food. So what I'm going to do is, after each day, I'm going to do the report, and obviously at the end of it, I'm just going to give you my honest opinion about whether I think you should, and it's just my opinion, whether I think you should do a 5-day fast or whether I don't. But at the end of each day, you know, obviously each of those days is a separate day. So, for instance, we've just done day 1. Do I think you should do a 1-day fast? Absolutely. Yesterday was a brilliant day. I think most of it was just psychological because your body hasn't, you know, plenty of time we go for like a whole day without eating food anyway. So at that point, but yesterday I had a gig in the evening, a random surprise gig that dropped into my lap. And I went down there, you know, having had no food all day since like 6 o'clock the night before. So it was about 24 hours after I'd last eaten. And I did a gig and it was wild and I felt great and I felt like I had loads of energy. So yesterday I didn't notice any depletion in energy. I think one of the problems that I might encounter is the boredom factor, because so much of what we do as human beings revolves around the sociability factor of eating and drinking together. And not only have I given up food, but I've given up all the booze anyway, so obviously no booze. The only thing I'm going to drink now for the whole week is water. And I'm going to drink water. I'm not going to go crazy. I'm going to drink water in the same, because I'm a tea swiller by habit. I'm going to drink water the same way I drink tea. So obviously I spend a lot of time practicing guitar. And after every hour or so, I generally go and get myself a cup of tea and then carry on guitar practice. So instead of that now, I'll just go and get myself a glass of water. So I'm just keeping the water intake to roughly the same. I'm not going crazy. And that's how I'm doing that. I've also given up cigarettes for a week. I'm not saying I won't smoke again, but I'm just thinking no impurities into the body right now. But like I say, I think a lot of it revolves around the fact that, you know, it gets to meal times and everyone else is eating and you're looking forward to eating, and there's a sociability factor, or you might be with your girlfriend and you're looking forward to going out for a little meal, a bite to eat, some breakfast, you know, or just a cup of tea when you're watching some movies and all of a sudden it's like, oh, they've got a cup of tea and I haven't. What I think this will be the perfect opportunity to do is just throw myself into my work for a week with all the guitar practice and you know, and just do that sort of thing, just work, because that way I won't get bored, because I think boredom is, a lot of people eat out of boredom. This is a thing, they eat and drink excessively, they get to a certain time of night, and if they don't start drinking alcohol, you know, they get bored. Or if they, you know, it gets to meals, you know, past meal times and they've still got loads of time and they start watching movies and they want to eat some food, half the time it's just boredom. You know, I can say that after this first day, I still don't really feel hungry, and I have a massive appetite. I'm a skinny guy, but I eat like an absolute flipping monster, and I eat my food and everyone else's. I'm not one of these guys that doesn't eat, even though I do look like I'm a guy that doesn't eat. So the point I'm trying to make about this is that for some reason, because I put myself in the mindset of having a 5-day fast, I have not really been attacked by hunger pangs so far this time, even though usually I'd go for half a day without food and I'll be really hungry. So my body's already kind of resigned itself to the fact that I'm not going to eat for 5 days, and maybe it's shut down some part of my brain that actually deals with the wanting and the craving. Now you can learn something from that. You can learn from that actually, you know, we can condition ourselves just by the way we think to not eat as much food if that's what we want to do. You know, so maybe a 5-day fast is good for that very reason, just in the conditioning of the self. Even if you don't do a 5-day fast, even if you only do a 1 or 2 day fast, just that conditioning mindset. But that's looking. I'm not a psychological expert or a psychiatrist or anything. I have no letters after my name. The only letters I have after my name are letters I get from, you know, the local constabulary and various courts of the land, you know, generally for parking or speeding related offences. Drive responsibly, kids, is all I'm going to say. I'm mainly known as a songwriter. I know nothing about dietary things. I like to think I've got a fairly balanced diet, like I mentioned. I'm repeating myself a bit now because I didn't write a script. Just to recap, because I want this to be less than, we're on 9 minutes now. After day 1, I feel absolutely fabulous. I don't feel particularly hungry right now. I went on a good gig. Every morning I do 100 press-ups. Sorry, that's a lie. I just blatantly told a lie on YouTube. Every other morning I do 100 press-ups in the bathroom, every other morning. But this week I've decided to do it every morning as a gauge of how much energy I've got. So I did my 100 press-ups this morning and felt powerful and didn't feel weak. You know, we have like a biorhythm thing where sometimes we're stronger at certain times of the month than other times, and I know this because I always do press-ups every other day. Some days I find it's a struggle to get through them, and some days it's really easy, like that wasn't hard at all. And today it wasn't hard, so I've still got all this energy. My body is still finding reserves of energy from wherever. I hope this has been helpful to you. I'm not an expert. I'm expecting quite a bit of criticism for this. Do feel free to get in touch with your comments about this. I'm doing it for holistic purification of the mind and the body, not for dietary reasons. And like I say, please do your research before you get involved in anything like this. To me, it's only 5 days. I've looked into the prospect of the refeeding on the day when I start eating again, which will be Saturday morning. You know, various advice says just, you know, take it easy, just have to eat some nuts and some stuff like that, just to get your digestive system working again. Look into that, because probably a lot of people have got different opinions. You know, I think if you just take it easy and do everything in moderation, you'll be okay. Right, hopefully this has been informative for you, and it's great once again to be back here on YouTube. I will be bringing you songs and general craziness. You can also go onto my Facebook page, where I quite often do random live things of music. Just on my normal Facebook, just find me Sanjanero. If you want to be my friend, I'll be your friend, as long as you're not weird. So thank you very much for watching. I will be back with day 2 tomorrow on the start of day 3, because today we're now on day 2. I'm feeling pretty groovy right now. Tomorrow's day 3, but I will be bringing you my day 2 report tomorrow morning. So thank you very much for watching, and bye for now.